Hello, third grade, and welcome to our iLearn prep for today. Today we're going to be reviewing main idea. And in our lesson today, we're also going to be looking at main idea and theme. So we'll get some extra practice today. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, sometimes when we take iLearn, it'll look kind of similar to this. You'll see two passages here at the top, and you'll have to click on each one. Now this one's unique because it will read it for us. So we're going to use that tool here now. You may or may not have that tool on iLearn. So let's go ahead and we are going to read passage 1.
Read the passages and answer the following questions. Passage 1. Living in a block club, people make up block clubs. Neighbors decide to set one up. One neighbor may be the leader. That person starts it. The person may ask a few neighbors if they want to start the club, or they may have a meeting. They invite all the people who live on the block. People who join a block club want to have a good place to live. They want their children to be safe. They want the street to be clean. They want to be friendly. The signs usually say something like "This is a great block." When a new family moves into the block club leader will meet with them. The leader will explain the rules. The new family joins the block club by moving there. Fixing problems. Sometimes a block club may have a problem. It could be someone on the block is not following the rules. If it is a serious problem, neighbors may be angry. They may talk with the person. They may send a letter to that person. They will tell them that they must follow the rules. Sometimes a block club calls the police. They report a problem. They have tried to solve the problem. The police will come to talk with the people making the problem. They hope they will cooperate.
So it looks like block clubs are made to help keep neighborhoods safe. It's kind of like a neighborhood watch club. Now let's read our second passage before we move on to our questions.
Read the passages and answer the following questions. Passage 2. On the move, once people had wheels, they could invent other ways to travel. They could put the wheel on a board and make it a wagon. That wheel led to what we have today: trucks, automobiles, even planes. How is the wheel part of planes? An airplane has to take off and land. It needs to have wheels so it can start building speed as it takes off. Then when it lands, it needs wheels to help it land safely. Even the shuttle, a spaceship, needs to have wheels when it lands. Astronauts pilot the shuttle when it lands on a runway. Some planes have skids. Those are like sleds. Those planes use those skids to land on water. But most planes need those wheels. The first planes were gliders. They just sailed on the wind. But they had wheels, too. Then came the airplane with an engine, and then came the jet plane. Now we have spaceships. They all started with that glider. Water transportation. There is another kind of travel that started a different way. Water travel has changed a lot, and it has not needed wheels. The first way people could travel on water was swimming. Probably the first person to make a boat really just used a log. They could see if the log floated, and then they could put things on it and push them along. Soon people would be carving wood to make boats. They would make them from animal skin, too. People figured out how to make sailboats so the wind would push the boat through the water.
Alright, so I'm thinking in my head of what this story was all about and how planes have changed in this first part and how people used water transportation in the second part. Alright, now let's go to the questions.
Answer the question given in Part A and support it with detail in Part B. Part A. Which of the following would best describe the main idea of Passage 1? Living in a block club? Answer choices. Choice A. People like to get together and have meetings. Choice B. People create block clubs to make their lives better. Choice C. Different families move into neighborhoods. Choice D. It is important to have a leader in a neighborhood.
Remember, the main idea is what the whole story is about, and it says in Passage 1, so I need to make sure I'm looking at Passage 1, and I'm reminding myself what I read about, that there's block clubs and neighborhoods have to decide to set one up, and it can keep them safe and people can join the block club when they move there. It can also help them fix problems. So what would describe all of that? If it's just in one section, remember, that cannot be the main idea. So we'll cross that out if it's not in the whole story. People like to get together and have meetings. Well, I don't know if it said that in the whole story. People create block clubs to make their lives better. Well, it looks like up here it makes their lives better by having a bigger community, and down here it makes their life better because they're safe. So that would make sense, but let's check the other ones first. Different families move into neighborhoods. Does the whole story talk about how different families move into neighborhoods? No, that's a detail. It is important to have a leader in a neighborhood. Does the whole story talk about having an important leader? No, it's talking about block clubs. So notice how this has block clubs in our main idea, but it also adds more detail. Let me fix that. The correct answer for number 1, A, is B. Let's look at part B.
Part 1 detail from the passage best supports the main idea you selected above. Answer choices. Choice A. They invite all the people who live on the block. Choice B. Neighbors decide to set one up. Choice C. People who join a block club want to have a good place to live. Choice D. When a new family moves into the block club leader will meet with them.
So which one describes how block clubs can make people's lives better? That they invite all people who live on the block. Does that make their life better if they just invite them? Not really. If they invite them, that neighbors decide to set one up? No, that doesn't really support making their lives better. People who join the block club want to have a good place to live. Well, yeah, that relates to having better lives. But let's check the last one first. When a new family moves into a block, the block club leader will meet them. No, that doesn't really describe how it makes their life better either. C is the correct answer. Click next. Moving on to number 2.
Answer the question given in Part A and identify details that support your answer in Part B. Part which of the following would best describe the main idea of Passage 1, Fixing Problems? Answer choices. Choice A. Life in a block club is not always perfect. Choice B. Letters are a good way to solve problems. Choice C. Sometimes police officers have to arrest people. Choice D. Following rules is very important in life.
I think I may have been looking at the wrong section for the last one, but we were able to figure it out. So this is looking at the fixing problems section of this passage. So when they are fixing problems, what is this whole part about? Life in a block club is not always perfect. Letters are a good way to solve problems. No, that would have been a detail. The whole thing didn't talk about letters. Sometimes police officers have to arrest people. No, the whole thing didn't talk about arresting people. Following rules is very important in life. Well, that doesn't really talk about block clubs. Remember, it needs to have the topic, block clubs, and what it's all about. So none of these would work. Part A is A.
Part which of the following details does not support the main idea you selected above? Answer choices. Choice A. It could be someone on the block is not following the rules. Choice B. The police will come to talk with the people making the problem. Choice C. Sometimes a block club may have a problem. Choice D. They hope they will cooperate.
So even though some block clubs might get along with each other, the neighbors might not get along with each other, or there might be someone causing trouble there, they hope that they will cooperate. that they're not always perfect, but they hope they will cooperate. Or actually, this one might fit better. Sometimes a block club may have problems. Yeah, I'm thinking C might be a better answer. Click next. Now, whenever you see central message, I want you to think about the theme. The theme. So what is the author trying to have you get from this passage?
What central message would best describe all of passage 1? Answer choices. Choice A. The police are important to block clubs. Choice B. Block clubs can make people's lives better if everyone follows the rules. Choice C. Sometimes neighbors get angry with one another. Choice D. Signs and rules are important to block clubs.
So the message the author wanted you to take was that block clubs can make people's lives better if everyone follows the rules. And we use that by looking at the main idea of both sections. Now for the next part, for our following story, you'll be doing the same thing, okay? Make sure on part B, there are 2 details that you will need to select that support part A, the main idea of this first section, on the move. Number 5, you're looking at the main idea of water transportation and choosing one that does not support the main idea. Look at that very carefully. And finally, number 6, what's the central message of the whole? Central message of the whole. Once you have finished those parts, then you can move on to the next activity for today.